What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here. Isn't it fitting? I'm out of town for 3 games. We do not great, decently. We win 3 in a row. And my first game back that I get to review, what do? Everybody loses their damn minds. God, I've not had my chance yet to scream and yell. Well, I was doing that through most of the game, to be fair. But I've not had that chance. I think I might need to go punch something or someone. Pochettino might be my first target, and then next would be Boehl. And then after that, I'd have 11, 13 targets to go after. So yeah, let's talk about it because looking back on the past 3 games that I didn't get to talk about, the Luton match was good at first and then looked terrible. The Crystal Palace match was good, then bad, and then decent at the end. And then you have the Preston match, which was awful in the first half, and then we turned it on in the second half, and Preston sort of fell off. And then we get to this one, and there was just nothing good about this game. There was absolutely nothing good about this game. Any of our chances came from Middlesbrough mistakes, and we wasted all of them. We did not create a single thing from our own good play. And Middlesbrough, I mean, they hardly had a thing to do. The commentators are praising them. Oh, they've played this game so well. They didn't do anything. They did absolutely nothing to win this game. We gifted it to them. We said, hey, happy late Christmas. Here's a free win. Here's a free, easy win, because we're not going to work hard. Pochettino's going to put out a terrible lineup, and he's going to put in subs that makes no sense. Just, here you go, Middlesbrough. Have a fun win. Have a fun new year. That's what it felt like. And, I mean, for Pochettino, this for me, I mean, he's already kind of been stepping more into the hot seat. I know, obviously, they're not going to get rid of him anytime soon. But, from me personally, you know, at the beginning of the year, even though we didn't start too well, we had some hiccups, we had some rough points, I'm still thinking, you know what, he has a chance. I think he's got the quality. Whereas Potter, I didn't see how he was going to turn it around. I saw enough at the beginning to say, you know what, once he gets some players back, Pochettino is going to find a way to turn it around. And with the players he has, he should at least do decently. You know, he should be able to get him up and ready to play, get him motivated. That's what I thought. I thought that early on. I've seen recently he's not that manager. He's not the manager to get these players specifically up and ready to play. I don't know what it's going to take because some of these guys, I don't know who could get them possibly motivated because, frankly, when you go and spend all this money, it kind of feels like they're just here for the money. They're not here to fight for the badge. They're not here to fight for the club. They're not here to win games. They're here to collect a paycheck. And there are a few that exemplify that, in my opinion. And 2 of them, yeah, they have constantly shown me that they are not worth the money that we paid for them. Caicedo, Mudryk. I don't know what everybody saw. I don't know what the people who made the transfer saw. I don't know who in their right minds thought, yeah, those guys are worth over 100 million. They're not. Not even close. Caicedo, I would say, maybe 30 million. Mudryk, every game I feel like it just goes deeper. Like he'll have a game where he'll look pretty good and it's like, okay, you know, maybe he's worth about 40 million, and then all of a sudden he'll just have a run of games where it's like 20, 15, 10. It's pathetic. And again, I'm glad that at least they're making my job easy when it comes to making the thumbnails, because I'm not the best thumbnail maker. But it's just nice and easy to be able to put that picture of me that I've saved of just Boehl out. It's easy. So I'm glad whenever we have these matches, because I know that my thumbnail is going to be easy for me to make. But from a fan perspective, yeah, I mean, Boehl, once again, showing why his ideas, why his business structure, why what he's doing here is stupid as hell. And why he's going to fail as an owner. And I don't know if he's going to stick around as long as the Glazers have, but we're already getting to that level of the Glazers' ownership, where it feels like he has no idea what he's doing in charge, how he's running this club, how he's getting us competitive. He has no idea how he's just throwing money at the problem. We're just going to throw money at it. We're going to bring in this guy. Oh, they don't want to sell him for less than $100 million? Yeah, sure, we want him. We want him here. We want him here for the long term. Yeah, great. Now we're stuck with Caicedo for what, 7 years? I don't remember how long his contract was. We're stuck with Mudryk for 8. We've got these awful players here that are now going to be stuck here forever, and no team's going to want to buy them for what we bought them for. So at best, we're going to sell them for half the price if we're lucky. At worst, we're going to see them just sitting here for the next 8 years coming off the bench and giving us jack shit. So yeah, Boehl, idiot. Pochettino, let's talk about, first of all, the formation. Because you're going up against the championship side. He goes without a recognized striker. When I saw that, I was tempted to not watch the game. Because all I could think was, you don't do this against sides that are lower than you. You don't do this against teams that are worse than you. When you have more quality, you don't go without a recognized striker. You go without a recognized striker whenever you feel like you're going to maybe be on the back foot a little bit. Maybe the team's going to be pressing you high, and you go with somebody up there that's got pace that can get him behind the back line. Maybe not a striker, but if they've got some pace, then they can be dangerous in a false nine position. Instead, we're in a game where we're clearly going to be dominant in possession. We're going to be the team that's going to be pushing them back, and then they're going to try to hit us on the counter. That's how the flow of the game is going to go. Not only that, he's going with Palmer up top. So first of all, Palmer is one of our most creative players. So you put him up top, you stick him up there, he's now standing in between two big defenders that are never going to let him see the ball. So now your most talented player is hardly ever going to see the ball. The guy that you want on the ball a little bit deeper, finding passes that are going to pick apart the defense. He's not going to be back there now because he's going to be the guy that's supposed to make those runs that he would normally be playing too. So you've handicapped your most creative talent. You've gone with a false nine, which means now, for whatever reason, we're getting the ball out wide. We're sending crosses in. Guess who's going to get on the end of those crosses? Nobody. Because we don't have a striker up there. We don't have a guy who's going to challenge those big defenders because you've gone with Palmer. He's not the shortest, but he's definitely not the biggest or the tallest. He's not going to be beating these defenders on headers. So that's already a dumbass decision. And then you look at his subs, you bring on Mudryk for Madueke. Madueke was not great today. He's a very selfish player. He makes a lot of bonehead decisions on the ball. Sometimes he'll shoot when he should pass, or he'll cross when there's nobody there. He'll do that. However, he's got enough work ethic about him that he's going to at least take on the defense. He's going to at least push them a little bit, cause some problems. He may not be the best, but at least he works hard. A little bit selfish, but at least he works hard. You take him off, leave Sterling on, who's giving you nothing all game. Bring on Mudryk, who is only good when we're sitting back. When we're facing a team that is going to press high and he's got space to run into. When he's got no space to run into, he does nothing. And I've said this before. This has happened before. How many times does it need to happen before somebody wakes up and goes, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't bring on Mudryk in games when the other team is sitting back. Maybe he's not effective when the other team is sitting back. The only time he's been effective is whenever Trippier headed the ball down and assisted his goal. That's the only thing he's done against teams that have been sitting back. So can we stop bringing him on in these matches? He's not going to give you anything. And he didn't. He gave the ball away a lot. He gave Middlesbrough a ton. He gave us jack shit. His best contribution was a shot that the keeper should have easily saved and dropped for some reason. That's the only thing he did that looked dangerous. And it wasn't even his fault. It was the keeper's fault. And then you bring on Broja, who should have already started. It doesn't matter that he's not at his best. It doesn't matter he's not playing well. He's a striker. You have a striker in there to play that position. It makes the rest of the team flow a little bit better. The problem is, you bring him on, you take off your most creative midfielder. Now who's going to play the balls into Broja? Caicedo? Caicedo playing in balls to a striker. Gallagher? No. We've got nobody in the midfield now. We've got no creativity in there. You got Gallagher, whose best attributes are winning the ball back, and Caicedo, whose best attributes are sitting on the bench. We got nothing. We got absolutely nothing now in the midfield because you took off Fernandez. So Broja's already coming on too late. He should have been on at halftime for either Caicedo or Gallagher. Maybe Sterling. You brought him on too late. You've taken off the one guy that can possibly do something about it. Rest of the game is foregone conclusion. I predicted we weren't going to score. Honestly, I'm surprised we didn't give up another. So, yeah, Pochettino, for me, lost his mind. As far as the players, I can't give anybody a good rating. The only one I can give an average rating to is Petrovic, just because, I mean, he didn't have much to do. The one thing he had to do was try to make a save on a guy who was taking the shot in the 6-yard box completely uncontested. So it's not like I can blame him for the goal. But outside of that, he didn't really have much to do because, Middlesbrough were content to just sit back and maybe counter occasionally. And the few chances they did create, they missed. So, yeah, Petrovic is the only one average rating. Everybody else was terrible. Everybody else was absolutely terrible. Gusto, he's actually had a few good games. The games that I wasn't able to review, I thought he looked pretty good. I thought he was finally growing. Back today? Nope. Back to the same Gusto. Back to Cucurella 2.0. I mean, that's basically what it was. A lot of hard work, jack shit in the production area. In fact, it got more and more frustrating as the game went on because so often he would just linger on the ball. There would be options. In fact, one of the best examples, he and Sterling both took like 3 or 4 touches, wasted 10 seconds on the ball each, and then finally he comes back. Disasi's open for a quick boom, maybe get it across, maybe come down the left side, but it's dribble, 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 do a move, dribble, 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 then Disasi, and then the ball. At that point, the other team has already started to shift over. Like, if you're going to get the ball over there, it's got to be boom, boom, not boop, boop. Like, that's too slow. Everybody's already shifted. Everybody's already gotten over. That's our biggest problem. There's not enough movement and there's not enough quickness on the ball. It's all very slow. Disasi, stupid defender. How many times did he get caught out of position? How many times did he go forward when he should have been dropping off? How many times did he go diving into a challenge when he had no business of doing it? On the ball, he was terrible. Silva looked awful today. I don't know what was going on. I don't know. He's not typically this bad. He was awful today. I mean, constantly caught out, constantly behind the play. On the ball, on the ball, he was way too slow. Colwill has been consistently getting worse, and today was... it's been falling. I can't imagine getting much worse than this. And nobody's saying anything. He's our only option at left back unless you move Gusto over there, but if you do, who are you going to play at right back? We don't have the numbers for that, which means somebody's got to talk to him. Somebody's got to get in his ear and say, first of all, go close down, stop backing off whenever guys have the ball inside the box, go close players down, and it's the simple mistakes. These are not mistakes of him just being young and inexperienced. These are simple, stupid mistakes of just lack of focus, lack of awareness. I mean, the game started, and he's already heading the ball through for their striker. Right off the bat, that's not a good sign, and it kept getting worse. Ball over the top, and he gets beat for pace. If anything, he should be the one in the defense that's not getting beat for pace out of all 4 of them. And he gets beat for pace and then backs off the guy, gives him like 2 feet of room to find the perfect pass. So, yeah, Colwill, either get better or get gone, because I'm sick of it. If this were one game, like Silva, awful game today, it's his one awful game that he's had in the past 5 games. He had another one previously against Newcastle. That was a little while ago. It's been a while since he's had a bad game. Colwill, it's been bad game after bad game after bad game after bad game, and then keep dropping in quality every single time. It's getting to a point where I'm done. I'm done trying to say, oh, well, maybe he'll get better. I'm done trying to say, oh, well, it's just he's in a bit of a rut. He'll pick himself up. No, it's getting worse, and he's costing us games now. So either get him out or somebody get into him. Say something to him. At practice, let's go. Work harder. Fix those mistakes. Get that out of your system. Caicedo in the midfield, like I said, worthless. He's a worthless player, not even close to 100 million plus whatever we paid for him against a championship side, and he can hardly hold his own in the midfield. Some of that is numbers, but still, you sign a player for 100-something million, you expect him to be able to hold their own against two championship players, but he can't. He's not strong enough, he's not fast enough, he's not clever enough on the ball. Fernandes, not a great game for him. Not terrible, he wasn't one of the worst ones, but definitely not what I expect from him. His passes were not great. His keeping a possession was fine. You know, he wasn't giving the ball away like Caicedo was, but it's still not the same Fernandes that I'm used to seeing. Some of that might have to do with the fact that we don't have a striker that he can go to, but I don't know, it didn't feel like the typical Fernandes performance. It was like, if 6 is average, I'd give him like a 4 or 5, somewhere in there, whereas everybody else was like 3s and 2s. So, up top, I guess start with Sterling on the left. Yeah, I mean, non-existent for most of the game. Nothing from him, really. So many chances where he should have done something with it, and he did nothing. So, Madueke, like I said already, you know, he's a hard worker. He probably is our most dangerous player whenever he's on the field, but he's so selfish, and he's so stupid on the ball. He makes some bonehead decisions that just really piss me off, especially when we're chasing the game. You know, after that goal goes in, now you need him to calm down those antics, calm down those stupid shots that he has no business taking, and actually look to move the ball around. And he never does. He continues to try, and occasionally they will go off, like against Luton. Occasionally that will happen, and it'll work out. Most of the time for him, it doesn't, though. And that's the problem I had with him last year. Whenever he was looking like our most dangerous player, there were still too many moments where he was just basically, here you go, have a goal kick. Gallagher in the middle, like I said, I mean, his best attribute is winning the ball back, and this was a game where we had a lot of possession, so he's not as effective. And especially when you drop him deeper and now he's on the ball a lot, and now he's got to be our creative influence, now he looks even worse. So, yeah, I mean, this is the type of game that he's not going to be effective, and sure enough, he was not. Palmer up top, maybe it's just the curse of being a striker at Chelsea, but yeah, I mean, today he was awful. He looked phenomenal against Luton. He looked pretty good against Palace. He looked decent, but missed a clear-cut chance against Preston. And now today, he looked like Jackson. 3 chances that should be goals. 1-on-1 with the keeper, pass it in. No problem. Keeper drops it right in front of you, little tap. Don't need to blast it, just a little tap. Put it in. I don't remember what his other one was, that he was basically right there. Should have easily scored. Oh, it was the one cutting in on his left, and he should be bending that to the far corner, no problem. And instead he puts it basically right here for the keeper to make an easy save. I mean, that's Jackson stuff. I don't know if the Luton game, maybe he got a little too cocky, and he's like, yeah, this is too easy for me, and now he's not really trying that hard, but, I mean, you had one that you should have scored against Preston. This is 3 more. And now we lost, and those 3 chances that you should have scored could have easily won us the game. So now, where you were winning us games before, now you're losing us games so shortly after. Now, he's a young player, and typically with young players, you do get kind of that up and down. I didn't see that before from him, but maybe this is his down point. You know, when you bring in a team of nothing but young players, you're going to get this sort of, you know, as they're growing, as they're becoming more adults, they have that sort of, oh, they're flying high and they're down here. And they're flying high and they're down here. We haven't seen the down here part from Palmer, but maybe we're starting to see it now. Because this was a great game to showcase just how bad he can be. And I hate to say that because he has been probably my top player of the season for us so far. But man, today he looked like one of our worst players. Because he missed those 3 easy chances, and then the second half, he did nothing. He was non-existent, didn't give us a single thing in that second half. So, I don't know if that's confidence issues. I don't know what that is. And if it is confidence issues, Pochettino's got some serious questions to answer about that. Because how can one of your most confident, one of your most quality players that can bury a pressure penalty at 4-3 to tie the game against his former club, how can you take that player and turn him into a player that lacks so much confidence that he can't even put the ball in from 3 yards out with no keeper in? They can't even pass it into a corner around the keeper with easy chances that he had. How do you let that happen as a manager? How do you let that player lose that type of focus and that type of motivation, that confidence? So, yeah. As far as the subs that came in, Broya didn't really do much. Granted, we did stop crossing the ball as much when he came in, which is a typical Chelsea thing to do. You know, when we don't have a guy that's dangerous in the air. I remember when we had Werner and Giroud as our two strikers. When Werner was in, we'd cross the ball in like nobody's business. So many crosses, and he couldn't win a single header because he was a bit smaller. Then Giroud gets in, and suddenly now we're trying to knock it around. We're hardly crossing the ball at all, even though he would dominate most defenders in the air. So I don't know how that works. I don't know what goes through the players' minds. But yeah, you've got now your tall striker in there. Why are we not sending more crosses in, guys? Hello? Anybody there? As far as Mudryk, I already blasted him a bit, but yeah, I think probably the best example to exemplify why I'm done with Mudryk and I want him moved on. I'm tired of seeing him. Comes from I'm trying to remember exactly how it started, because the right back had stepped out, I think, to win the ball from a pass that was coming to Mudryk. He steps out to win it. He's now out of position as we win it back and play the ball to Mudryk. So now Mudryk is here with a ton of space to run this way. And the center back is here. He has plenty of pace. He could take on the center back and cut inside, maybe have a good chance, maybe find a square ball. He has that space to run into now. That's what he's good at. So he cuts it back. Now the right back is behind him, not letting him into that space anymore. He's got passes to make. Instead, he tries to take it inside, right into the center back, who then takes it off of him, sends it down, and now all of a sudden they're on the counterattack. We paid $100 million for him. Yeah. So I have thoughts about him that I will not say here because they might seem a little offensive to people, but I'm ready for him to be moved on, because every single time somebody says, "Oh, he needs some more confidence," and then he'll get into that form that we want to see. I see that form from him every maybe 10 games. He'll do something phenomenal. He'll have a game where he's flying, where he starts to look brilliant, and then we'll never see it again. And all of a sudden, oh, it's back, and then it's gone again. It's too much. Too much. It's too much down, and then up and then down, and then up and then down. It's too much of that. I'm done. I'm done with him. I'm done defending him. I'm done trying to give him a chance. He's not ever going to be what we paid for him. So either we got to find a team that'll take him at a cut rate price so we can move him on and get somebody else in here that will be more effective, or we just need to stop using him, until he leaves 8 years from now. I don't know. Maybe just loan him out so we at least get his wages off the books. Then the last sub was Gilchrist, and that just felt like I don't know, I got to make a sub or else people are going to be asking, hey, why'd you only use 2 subs? Granted, his bench is not necessarily phenomenal because we have a lot of injuries, because we have the softest team in the league and the worst physio team in the league. So you mix those together and you've got players that keep getting injured consistently. So, and Cuckoo's back out again. Who's the other one that just recently got re-injured? Crap, I don't remember who it was now. Anyways, whatever the case, obviously he's still hindered with those injuries because they keep recurring. They keep having injuries pop up, and that's not his fault. I will give him that. He can't help the fact that we have a soft team. We have players that we've brought in who clearly are not capable of staying fresh, fit, and healthy, and we have a physio team that are not capable of helping the players that can possibly reach that stay there. So he's hindered by that, but that being said, it's not like we don't have the quality to beat a championship side. We just don't have the effort. We don't have the work rate. We don't have the desire from these players to go out and work their butts off so we can easily beat this team that should be able to handle us. So, yep. Granted, we do have a second leg, so there's every chance that we could beat them at home and still go through the final, but in my opinion, that doesn't matter. What matters is this game right now. You should have won this game. This game was there to be won. We easily easily should have won this one. There were several chances, easy chances we should have put in. We didn't do the work when we did have the ball. We didn't do the work to actually threaten them and cause them problems. And then defensively, again, there's still so many mistakes. So I don't know if we're going to do anything in the January transfer window. I assume we're going to, because Boehl likes to spend money. And I guess I should say he likes to waste money. So I assume we'll pick up some other overrated player that's going to show that they're not worth whatever huge price tag we paid for him. Whether it's a striker, whether it's a defender, I don't know. But whatever the case, this game was kind of a slap back to reality for me. That's not the wording from the Lose Yourself song. Snapback, not slapback. Anyways, I'm tired. My head hurts from all the face palming I did today, and yeah, I need to go punch something. So, with all that being said, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on the game today? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Chelsea views, and I'll see you guys. I won't see you guys this weekend because I'll be busy on a bachelor weekend for my friend's future wedding. But I will see you guys, I think, next midweek. I think we have a game coming up, possibly. But yeah, so I won't be here for the Fulham game, but I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace out.